Hey guys, it's Ted with OAXRAY, and today we're going to be showing you how to use the program on the DisneyStore.com. And whenever we get started, we always look at the front screen, see if there's anything that's a crazy deal. And it looks like today we have an extra 25% off the clearance, so that's where we're going to go. So I clicked on my clearance section, and it looks like we have 3 pages of clearance, 201 item, and we're just going to go through it pretty quickly with OAXRAY. I'm running it on the first page. I'm going to run it on the second page and third page pretty quickly here. Now let's talk about the Disney Store. First thing, we just added it to our extension list. So you're going to see there are some purple items here, actually a good amount of them. It's because we are slowly adding in more and more matches to this site. So one day you're going to look at this and it will be all filled in, but it looks like we are adding items every single day. So there's just going to be more and more items that pop up, and probably in the next week or two everything should be completed, and you're going to notice a full screen of all items with matches. Now we do have a discount, so whenever I calculate the ROI and the net payout, I'm just going to put 25 there to represent the 25% discount. And I'm going to get rid of everything else, everything that doesn't have a match at the moment, and I'm going to click on positive ROI to show only the items that have positive ROIs. Now today my goal is not to post any bolos, so what I'm going to do is choose an item with no sales rank. You should have your sales rank threshold and should be making your own decision on what is okay for your business to buy. So I'm letting you know ahead of time. I'm just going to choose an item here, which is this flatware set, and it's not going to have a sales rank. Okay, so as these load, I'm looking at this. It's a 12 piece, if I zoom in, 12 count dinnerware set. Looks like it has Mickey Mouse on the bottom. And just to remember a few things, looks like the same dinnerware set, and if you look at the third photo here, you're gonna notice that it is essentially the same photo. Now the price on this is $9.99, but we're actually going to get 25% off, so we're going to pay about $7.50 on this item, and that's not even including if you're getting discounted gift cards or if you're using cash back rewards or anything like that. So just about $7.50 there. Now, when I first look at this listing, the first thing I'm going to notice is this horrible picture. If this item was an item I was going to buy, I would probably change the picture, and I would probably just to spruce up the listing, because I'm not sure who took this picture, but it doesn't look very good, and it'd be pretty easy to fix. So that's what I would do if you were able to and you wanted to purchase this item. Especially if I had a quantity of it. If I had one, maybe I wouldn't take the time to change the picture, but if I had a bunch of these and I was trying to get rid of them, I'd change the picture. Second thing I'm going to do is look at my reviews and see if there are any negatives. And negative reviews can mean that you will be getting a lot of negative feedback possibly, and some of the times it's easy to remove, some of the times it's not so easy to remove. So you kind of want to see how many negatives there are, and it also has to do with your return rate. If you have an item that has a lot of negative reviews, more chance of returns coming through. As we scroll through, I have my Keep extension here, and Keep is telling me that the price is pretty stable on this. It's been $49 and it's gone down to $39, but as you can see, this person does not have the buy box. The FBA person has the buy box, so generally if you're around that same price of the FBA person, you're probably going to get the buy box, since they seem to be suppressing it from this person who's much cheaper. Actually, they're not too much cheaper, I guess. As I scroll down, I want to look at my product details, and here we see the item is only 1.2 pounds, so it's pretty light, and it's going to be probably be an easy item to ship. Here I'm going to copy the ASIN so I can put the item into the FBA revenue calculator. So now that I have my FBA revenue calculator pulled up, I'm just going to paste in the ASIN, and I always want to double check, make sure everything is correct, because sometimes the product dimensions might change from here in the FBA revenue calculator to what is actually on the details page. So especially if it's going to be close to being oversized, they might add decimal points here, which were not in the original listing, causing an item to be oversized. So this is something you always want to check for. But this looks like a small, lightweight item. It's going to be easy to ship, easy to pack. So generally what I do is I put in my buy cost here just so I can get a true estimate of what I'm going to be paid once this item is paid out and once I spend money on the item. Based on your inbound shipping, you can put in a cost there to get an even more accurate kind of total. So it looks like if I were to buy this item, if it were the correct rank and everything, then I'd be looking at $26.64 is what I would be paid out. That is after paying for the cost of purchasing the item, which I put in right here. That's after the cost of any inbound shipping cost and poly bagging or anything else. I just kind of lump everything together and put it right here. Going back to the website, before I purchase this, I try to make sure I put enough in my cart to get the free shipping, which I believe is at $75 on this website. If I could get discounted gift cards, I would do that also. And just try to get the cost as low as possible for this. Now, let's just do a quick summary. You want to look at your picture, make sure you have a decent picture here so that people who see it are actually going to like it and want to buy it. We also want to check to make sure we have no negative reviews, or if we have a lot of positive and 1 or 2 negatives, shouldn't be a big deal. But if an item has mostly negative reviews, you might be getting a lot of returns, and you might have some feedback issues. Depending on how they word the feedback, it might be considered a product review, it might not. So these are things you want to take into consideration. You also want to check out your Keepa graphs if they have any pricing data. So you know that Amazon's not going to come in stock. So you know that the price is not going up and down frequently, and you might have to hold this to Christmas. Now, past history is not always going to tell you that the price is going to stay the same. It might have stayed the same, and then maybe it's going to change later, but at least using this data, you can kind of get an idea of what's been happening and maybe make an estimate on what's going to happen in the future. Last thing we want to do is make sure we check the size and the weight of the item, because we want to make sure that we have the exact shipping weights and all that is correct, because sometimes it will change based on what the listing says versus what Amazon Fulfillment Center has their sizes. Now, one thing I didn't show you is we're always going to, especially when we have an item like this, we're always going to copy the title and we're always going to do a word search, because sometimes there are duplicate listings. I looked at this earlier, there is no duplicate listings. So you want to make sure that before you start your process, before you start purchasing, that there are no duplicate listings, so you don't buy an item. This listing, which has the bad picture, might be at 45 bucks. There might be a better listing with a better picture, and that might be at $20. We don't know. So you always want to make sure you do the word search, make sure there's no duplicate listings, so you don't end up getting the item and then figuring out that there's a better listing out there, and maybe there's not enough margin, or maybe there's more margin. So you want to know all this up front. So do your word search every time. That's all I have for Disney.com. It's going to be a great website. You're going to find a lot of items there. One of the reasons I like it is because Disney Store stuff, generally, a lot of it is not going to be sold at a regular store. So whenever you're scouting this, you're not worried about 10 other stores that are probably going to have the same item. So that's why I like Disney, and that's why you should give it a try with OAXRAY. Have a great day.